Bass Pro Shops Crappie Masters National Qualifier Tournament going on, and we got just the folks here to tell you all about it because Dan Mueller and Garrett Steele have come in, and good to see you guys again.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't know, was it almost a year ago? You were here through the region last time doing a big 3-lake tournament. This time you get to focus on one lake, on Darbone. You guys been out there since you got here?
We have, and it got wet yesterday.
That's right. It was a little stormy out there.
Yeah, we like the lake. It's a good lake, a good fishing lake.
Well, the good news is it looks like for this weekend we got pretty good weather there. The tournament's going on Friday and Saturday. And, you got a high of 63 and sunshine on Friday, 72 on Saturday and some sunshine there. So looking pretty good. And now you guys, I guess you travel all around. Where were you last tournament? Where was the last one you went to?
Actually, we didn't fish one this year.
Oh, wow.
Yet.
Okay.
This is our first one. We fished the Grenada tournament in the fall, which was like a precursor. Pretty good turnout. We had also some very windy weather, and it was pretty rough out there, but it was a good tournament, good fishing.
I guess the one's kind of on the borders, not so much in summer, a little different than your heart of summer tournaments, right?
Oh yeah, you never know about the weather. It's going to turn on you in a second or a minute, or you're just out there, you're pre-fishing, and all of a sudden everything changes on you. So we're in that kind of season here right now. It's good to see that we're going to be climbing the ladder for this week instead of lowering down the ladder. So on the weather. So. But this is a great lake. We're happy to be in Ruston, Louisiana. Love the lake. Yeah. Love the people here, and we have nothing but nice folks to us the whole time we've been here.
Well, I was looking up on the internet some information about this, and it's Friday and Saturday, and you got 2 weigh-ins there. But the big event is kind of coming up tomorrow, really, because that's where you can register. If folks want to go register, then they can do so at 5 o'clock. That's going to be at the Willie Davis Center in Farmerville. And it's going to be a dinner and a meet and greet after that, followed by, it says, a seminar. Now, Dan, what are they going to be covering in the seminar?
Well, actually, it's not a training seminar. it's a meeting to tell everybody the rules, go over the weigh-in times and the launching times, and a little bit about what the rules are for this particular tournament.
No dynamite, number 1.
Yeah, darn it. And we had ours all stacked ready to go. Darn it. But no, you can't do that. And it'll talk about launching points where everybody meets at, for the tournament weigh-in. And it's a great meeting where you get to see everybody and say hello to everybody. And it's just really cool. And
the entry fee is $3.25 a boat with 2 fishermen there, and you'll be able to fish both days. And the weigh-ins are coming up over there at Darbone Point, right over there by Ludwig Marina. Is that right?
That is right. And the weigh-in, it's important to note that the weigh-in starts at 3:30, but you must be in the line by 4:30 in order for your fish to count. So make sure that if you're driving, from another ramp to go to the weigh-in point, make sure that you get there by 4:30 and get checked in. No, I'm getting a lot of this information from crappiemasters.net, and if you go to their page, you can also link to their Facebook wall, which I found some pictures there. Somebody just yesterday was posting some big fish that they were catching out there, some Lake Darbone crappie. So it looks exciting. And now, Garrett, here's the interesting thing I posted on there. I said, we're going to have a fisherman / country singer. We talked a little bit about with you last time about so what's the difference between being on the road as a singer and being on the road as an angler?
Well, it's kind of been a combination thing here the last year, so as Dan and I have come together and kind of brought synergies together and killing a few birds with one stone, being able to fish the Crappie Masters Tour together. And of course, he's the publisher of the largest crappie publication out there, Crappie Now magazine, free online magazine, and I'm doing my thing in country music. And so as we travel the country and get to do some radio and TV with fine folks like you and kind of promote all 3 and then promote the sport of crappie fishing as well, which is really big for Dan and I, to be a part of that, and the whole getting outside with family and getting the kids outside. And so, a lot of the singing here last year or so has been in conjunction with the crappie.
There you go, kind of in service of each other. They kind of work together there.
Country music and fishing, that's a pretty good marriage.
Well, there's so many songs about fishing, Well, last year you came here and we played this great song called The Suitcase. I remember that. We got calls on it and everything. People were talking about it because I was looking over, because when you guys were they contacted me and said, well, Garrett and Dan are coming back. I looked up and I had this file called Garrett and Dan in my computer there. So I kind of went back and listened to that and listened to your performance there. And we'll get one live from you in a minute. But right now, let's play a song that you just brought in called Didn't Have a Chance. Is this one you wrote? Or
It's one a great friend of mine wrote. Actually, the couple that we're going to do today but we're both written by him. Dale Trollander, a really good friend I've known for years, been really involved in my music career over the years. He's from West Texas, wrote this. Kind of a fun song, kind of a cocky guy gets put in his place kind of song. So
well, it's always good to hear, right?
Yeah. the ladies will love this one.
Garrett Steele, you can link to him on our Facebook wall. I'll link to his page, so go to Z1075 FM and find him there. And here he is with Didn't Have a Chance.
Heads turned as she waltzed across the floor. She had my undivided attention, that's for sure. Looking at her, I could see that girl was in store for a new romance. I knew in time that she'd be mine. She didn't have a chance, didn't have a chance to run for cover, didn't have a chance to warn her heart. I knew before the night was over, she'd be dancing in my arms. And playing hard to get was playing right into my hands. Just one look was all it took, and I knew she didn't have a chance. I was watching every move she made, while she pretended to look the other way. Thought I'd give her a while, then flash her a smile and ask her for a dance. I turned on the charm, she melt in my arms. Poor girl, she didn't have a chance, didn't have a chance to run for cover, didn't have a chance to warn her heart. I knew before the night was over, she'd be dancing in my arms. And playing hard to get was playing right into my hands. Just one look was all it took, and I knew she didn't have a chance. She smiled as she walked up casually, right into the arms of the man standing next to me. As he took her by the hand and they began to dance, she looked my way as if to say, boy, you didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance to run for cover, I didn't have a chance to warm my heart. That's when the night for me was over, she was dancing in his arms. I wanted her to be with me, but she had other plans. Just one look was all it took, and I knew I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance to run for cover, I didn't have a chance to warm my heart. That's when the night for me was over, she was dancing in his arms. I wanted her to be with me, but she had other plans. Just one look was all it took, and I knew I didn't have a chance. Yeah, just one look was all it took, and I knew I didn't have a chance.
So you were feeling pretty good there for a second until you realized you didn't have a chance.
Exactly, yeah.
I see what you mean about a cocky guy getting put in his place there. Yeah.
That's right.
It happens to the worst of us, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can relate to that, right? At some point.
Well, what you said about relating to it's funny because, like you said, you didn't write that song. When you're looking at a song somebody else wrote, do you just kind of find one that you think is funny or it relates to you, or just kind of jibes with you on some level, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to relate to it in a way that you feel feel like you wrote it or should have written it, or ask yourself, oh man, why didn't I write that? It's so obvious kind of deal. And I think that's also then what creates a hit, is people can relate to it that way. But
where you feel like you've kind of heard it before, even though you haven't. Yeah.
Right, a different way of saying it, which is harder and harder to do, of course. But yeah, when I went into the session here a couple years ago with Teddy Gentry of the group Alabama, and we did our session, and we listened to between 2,000 and 3,000 songs to find six. I mean, so you go through a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of great songs. There's a lot of songs that are going to be hits, but aren't for you.
Sure.
Well, you can hear a certain artist on. Oh, there's an Aldine thing, or there's boy, that'll be a hit for such and such. I wonder if they've heard it, kind of deal.
Right.
And a lot of times that'll happen.
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember getting pitched that song last year, or whatever else, and it comes out and it's a big hit for somebody.
I read this thing once where David Paul, he had that song "Thinking Problem," which is kind of like a perfect country song. He walked around for 10 years trying to sell that to people, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's really good, but just not. I don't know. It's not me." And then eventually, when he got a record deal, it was like, "Well, let me give it a try." And of course, big hit. So yeah, it's all about the right song for the right person.
That's exactly it.
Well, so now we're talking about singing. We're also talking about fishing. I want to remind everybody it's this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and I was kind of worried about it coming up to it because it had been raining so much, and it had been kind of turned cold again. But it's like nice and mild. It's going to be sunny for the next few days. We're talking about a high of 63 on Friday, high of 72 on Saturday. So how's it work? You pay your admission price, and you actually fish both days. Is there a weigh-in on both days too?
Oh, definitely. There'll be a weigh-in 3:30 to 4:30 on Friday evening, and also on Saturday. And of course, Saturday will be the one where everybody comes in, and that'll be the winner will be announced and the ranking. So, yeah, it's 2 days of good fishing and being out on the water and good camaraderie between the fishermen.
And Patrick's going to be out there in the afternoon on Saturday to kind of cover the big final push there, and and I know everybody's going to be having fun afterwards too. There's all kinds of great information about this on CrappieMasters.net. I mixed my vowels up there, and you can also check out their Facebook wall as well. And like I said, check out some pics of some Lake Darbo and crappie there. Now I see you've brought your guitar in, Garrett. So we've heard one recorded, but it's always kind of fun to for me to try out my producer skills and actually get one played live. You got one you brought for us to sing?
I did. Yeah, this one was written by Dale Trollander out there. And the other one, by the way, Don Armstrong was a co-writer on that one, both West Texas guys. And this is one I want to send out to all the troops, those who serve, and first responders, nurses, and so on and so forth. Really great song. Great to have recently recorded it and kind of run with it a little bit this year. And it's called Those. Some live their lives with honor, the path they bravely chose. The world would be a better place if there were more of those. There are those who reach out, giving hope to those without, helping hands that do their part to ease a pain, to mend a heart. Those who serve when they are called, and those who fight, and those who fall, they take a stand, and through it all, their love still grows. Lord, help me be one of those. There are those who are strong in their quest to right and wrong, unafraid to take a chance to face the truth, to dance the dance, a trusted friend, guiding light, standing up for what is right, and somewhere in the darkest night their candle glows. Lord, help me be one of those who give their all to be the best that they can be, who overlook the weaknesses of those like me, those who serve They are called those who fight, those who fall. They take a stand, and through it all, their love still grows. Lord, help me be one of those. I want to be one of those.
Garrett Steele, those on Z1075. Now, Garrett, did you say you were recently in the studio recording that one, or?
Yes, we recently recorded that one as well as didn't have a chance, so we're kind of compiling everything together here, and it should be available pretty quickly out on iTunes. Just GarrettSteele.com.
That's cool.
Facebook page will kind of keep everybody abreast. And excuse me, we're hoping to have it out before we saw you today, but it very, very quickly should be available. You can kind of keep up with it there.
Yeah, and like I said, I linked to your Facebook wall on our Facebook wall, but of course you got the website too, which is GarrettSteele.com. Now we're going to come back in just a minute and talk more to Garrett and Dan about the big crappie tournament coming up on Lake D'Arbonne this weekend.